Okay, Rainbow Falls. We get back to the Equestria Games with this one. So yeah, those are going to be a thing, and they're not only that, we're going to see some of the main characters compete in it. In particular, Rainbow Dash gets to lead a team in the relay race, the flying relay race they're going to have. But the only teammates she can get are Fluttershy and the muscle guy who we've seen doing his yeah gag a bunch of times, who we finally learned his name, Bulk Biceps, and yeah, even though he should be able to fly with 10.0 wing power according to his first appearance, and he's been through the Wonderbolts Academy on top of that, like now instead the small wings are a good excuse to make him dead weight, because I mean he's even worse than Fluttershy, who is, even in spite of Hurricane Fluttershy, is not portrayed as particularly good at this. So okay, and they give an explanation that everyone else is off doing other events. Fluttershy and Bulk were the only ones left, so Rainbow Dash decided to join their team to make up for the slack instead of one of the other events. But yeah, I mean, if that's really true, you think they could have found an event that suits Bulk Biceps' build a little better. But okay, so anyway, they're practicing, they're not doing a very good job, but everyone else is really getting into this. Applejack is baking apple brown betties for them to load up on carbs and everything. Rarity is getting into designing the uniforms. Pinkie Pie wants to be the cheerleader, and yeah, she's all over that. And I mean, it's like so many distractions they can barely focus on practicing, on top of the fact that they're not very good in the first place. But okay, when they take the train to the qualifying matches, they see some of the other teams that are going to be competing, including the Wonderbolts, who now know Rainbow Dash by name because one of them, Spitfire, was the coach of the Wonderbolts Academy. So yeah, she worked with Rainbow Dash however long that lasted. We also established in this that that's not a thing anymore. That was just that was like a summer camp or whatever. So okay, but anyway, but yeah, they are of course going to be competing, and they're going to blow everyone out of the water because they're handpicked as the best flyers in the land. And yeah, because I guess all the flying ponies are from Cloudsdale, even Rainbow Dash, but she lives in Ponyville now, so not quite the same rules as the Olympics. But anyway, so yeah, though they notice Rainbow Dash, they wish her good luck, but they see that she's not with the strongest team, so okay, they tell her that she might need it. And then when one of their teammates gets hurt, and Rainbow Dash saves him from falling out of the sky, they start to lure her into hanging out with them because they're hoping that she can be the replacement. So I mean, and you can tell they were going to ask her right away, but when they saw she wasn't sure, they were like, "We mean to practice with us and everything." So, and of course their practice regimen, they have cheerleaders with first-rate equipment, they have all of the sports equipment and everything you need to get the most out of your practice. So, and just in general, they're more at Rainbow Dash's level. So okay, she can't resist that offer, at least, even though she has to practice with the others on the side. But that doesn't take much effort because their practice sessions look more like trying not to be a total farce and failing. But okay, so yeah, she's practicing with both teams until Twilight takes notice, just as the Wonderbolts decide they've lured her in enough, and now they tell her that Soren, the teammate that got hurt, is not going to be recovered in time, and they want her to take his place permanently. So yeah, pressure's on to choose, and she actually, after being confronted by Twilight, thinks about the other side too, the guilt of abandoning her teammates and how they're not going to qualify. And then she doesn't want to turn down the Wonderbolts, who, I mean, this is her chance to fly with the winners. She doesn't want to say she turned them down. So okay, she fakes an injury and just opts to not compete with either of them to just get herself off the hook blamelessly. But when she hears her friends tell her that, okay, if they win, they're going to give their medals to her because of how much she likes to win, how much she was pushing for this, and then Twilight gets another word in because she's the only one who can tell that Rainbow Dash is faking for some reason. But anyway, so yeah, Rainbow, she sees another rainbow motif. The show does rainbows a lot, I think, but anyway, so, okay, but yeah, this season in particular is pushing that as a sign, so she sees a rainbow that fall on the flag that one of her teammates dropped, and then she is inspired to do the right thing. Okay, so this episode, yeah, one of those ones that just gives you an event, in this case a qualifying race, and then uses it as an excuse to go to town on everyone, just give them all their turn the spotlight, although while technically making it about one of them, in this case Rainbow Dash, and yeah, all of the above. Applejack and Rarity are so excited to be doing what they do while losing sight of how they're not always being very helpful and knocking Bulk Biceps out of the air while attempting to throw him some of the Apple Brown Betties, or in Rarity's case, holding up practice so she can paint their horseshoe that they're passing off in the relay special color, and yeah, Pinkie Pie, thinking of all the ways she can make a cheer out of P is for Ponyville. P is for her pride, P is for, when they crash, pain, so yeah, stuff like that. Fluttershy is basically Fluttershy, except in a couple of instances, like where she's in that, because this is totally how shy people act when she's about to be past the horseshoe by Bulk Biceps. She's like, oh, but I don't want to take it unless you're really, really sure you want me to take it. But, yeah, and then Bulk Biceps, who gets a significant portion of screen time here and his first significant speaking role. I don't know, well, they kind of alter him up here, like, before, he was first and foremost a gag character, but kind of like Big Mac, they did sort of fit in hints at his personality. Like, it was almost, I don't know, it was almost like he was just a really enthusiastic 10-year-old in this giant, hulking, fully grown body that just, whenever somebody was trying to rally him, rile him up, or him and a crowd, yeah, he was like, yeah, let's do it, yeah, just, but whenever somebody got in his face, or like a Spitfire yelling at him, he would kind of shrink away, or something like that, or when he's playing tug of war with the Cutie Mark Crusaders, it's not like he is being a good sport, realizing that he's up against a bunch of little fillies, and it wasn't like he was going easy on them or trying to make them feel good, nor was it like he was trying to get in their face or like be sort of a bully or anything. He was just sort of holding the rope that just like until a butterfly scared him off. So, okay, it was, and there was still a lot open, but it felt kind of organic, it felt kind of fresh. But yeah, here they take it in more of that sort of cut and dry direction that, yeah, he's a macho knucklehead who just, doesn't get it, and just, about as sharp as a bowling ball. He's just, everything he does, he just, he's really enthusiastic, really high on how muscular he is, kissing his biceps and just all of the above. And still not a bad guy, but just, yeah, it's more like the typical macho knucklehead, which is not to say that he's not still entertaining. I will give him that. But and then and they bring Derpy back. She's Rainbow Dash's replacement when Rainbow Dash is apparently hurt. So yeah, and one or two times, I'm trying to, I only really remember the one in Applejack's episode, yeah, one of the few times in the spotlight at all, but yeah, notice she's not speaking this time. She just sort of gives gestures and whatever to indicate that she understands, but okay, so I'm sure I'm guessing the fan base like that. I can't say for sure, but because at least she got some spotlight time at all. But yeah. Anyway, and then yeah, Rainbow Dash, of course, who is just kind of over the top in everything she does with I don't know. It's like played up, but still Rainbow Dash. Just the acting like trying to rally the team and almost making it sound like it's all about her in a way that's, somebody who's actually thinking would probably have realized a lot sooner, or trying to pretend she got hurt with the worst acting possible. Just, oh, woe is me, oh, the pain, and then, while her friends are like, oh, what's wrong? The Spitfire's like, what happened? I hurt my hoof. You hurt all of them? I tripped and on a foam horseshoe and landed on a pointer stick poking around the ground. And then I like that though. Pinkie Pie hears that, she's like, "Ooh, if I ever get my hooves on that pointer stick poking around the ground, it'll be a dark day," or whatever she says. But so yeah, and then of course the way she comes back is really over the top too. That just like, I was not hurt. It was just too hard to choose, so I faked it. But I know who I should have been loyal to. Pause. Ponyville. Just all of that. So, okay, as you might have gathered by now, this episode is kind of stupid. And I had a ball with it. Like, seriously, even more than the last one. This episode is just fun. I mean, in spite of the fact that it is kind of stupid, it does make its characters look kind of stupid at points, but I mean, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of Mystery on the Friendship Express, because, yeah, well, it's not as good as that one, granted, because that one, the silliness was all part of the fun, it was part of the point. This one, it doesn't seem to realize that it's kind of stupid at points, that, like, the humor is kind of childish. I mean, how dare a kid's show be that? But even so, it reminded me of that because the atmosphere, it was just like everything, the tone, the characters, everything was just taken a little farther up on the played up scale. Like everything was just a little more played up, a little sillier, a little more over the top, but it was like everything at once, so they still had the same dynamic. Like it was still them on in a sillier sort of light. And I mean, it was just kind of fun to see them all go at it in this way. It was kind of fun to see everybody go to a game, essentially. Just get, like, really excited for a sporting event. Because, I mean, the closest we had to that before was Rainbow Dash, I think, in Sonic Rainbow. Or, well, there was Applejack's Rodeo, but they didn't go to that. But, I mean, yeah, even, okay, when they had sporting events and stuff, the characters we knew, they were just sort of concerned about each other. It was about helping them through the moral of the day. But I mean, no, it's just kind of fun to watch them go out and root for the home team a little bit, because Applejack is kind of entertaining how excited she gets for these snacks that I don't know why she thinks are particularly helpful, but yeah, she's trying to throw them, but she sees them, the Cloudsdale team, catapulting them to their flyers, so she tries to use her tail as a catapult, only to discover that her aim isn't as good. Or Rarity, dressing Bulk Biceps and Fluttershy in the same uniform that looks like it's way more meant for Fluttershy, and Bulk doesn't even get it. He's just like, yeah, and well, and I mean, it's not even like we're supposed to be laughing, of course, but nobody else is actually laughing at him. Rarity is dead serious, considering this, like, the two, whatever, I mean, except Rainbow Dash is, of course, sees how silly this is, but I mean, yeah, it's just such a weird image that just, like, they're trying this on, and I mean, everybody is, like, dead serious, considering this, like, does this work? But, okay, and that's a good point to talk about Bulk Biceps, because, I mean, it actually was just sort of fun to see somebody different, just like another big sort of personality, come and just hang out with the gang. And I mean, and it's not just him being a knucklehead and showing off his muscles and having everybody stare at him. Like, he actually does get some genuine sort of interaction. Like, he does sort of get to be their buddy and whatnot. When they're sitting around at lunchtime, he grabs most of the Apple Brown Betties when it's his turn, and then stuffs them all in his mouth, and then politely saves the last one for Rainbow Dash. But when she declines because she's already eaten with the Wonderbolts, he instead starts trying to entertain the gang, just like bouncing it on his muscles and whatnot. The last one, and they actually do kind of have some fun with it. When they're congratulating Rainbow Dash for rescuing the injured Wonderbolt, he jumps to the front with the cheer. P is for Rainbow Dash! Borrowing from Pinkie Pie, and then Fluttershy flies up to him, like, just genuinely being considerate here, whispers in his ear, Rainbow Dash actually starts with an R. Oh, never mind! And just kind of slinks back, and stuff like that. Or, trying on this uniform where both he and Fluttershy are just kind of having fun with it. I don't know, it was kind of fun to see. And not only him, but Derpy as well, who, I don't know, I haven't seen much of her lately. I almost forgot about her, truth be told, but it's just like, once again, when you see her in the foreground at all, she is kind of cute, kind of fun. And this time they do fit in a couple of visual gags for her, like when she's startled by one of Bulk's yells and drops her flag, and then just kind of, like she doesn't know what to think, just stares at the floor, stares blankly at it for a second, and then, when, okay, it's clear nothing's wrong, she just looks up and smiles again, and then, Twilight saying that they probably don't have much of a chance even with Rainbow Dash's replacement, and actually, you think I know Twilight's not supposed to be a very good flyer, but I'm wondering if she could have been better than at least one of these competitors here, but she says that, and Derpy just kind of shrugs, smiles, like, she gets it, but it's cool, she doesn't mind, but, and then at the end when they're all taking the picture, and they're all piling on, and then she jumps in, like, split second before they snap it with the Ponyville flag. It's kind of fun to see that, they, it's not just strictly one another, that they can sort of be friends with some of the other ponies in the town, and just, or have some fun and whatnot, especially at an event that concerns them all, so it was kind of fun to see. And, Pinkie Pie too. I said she got a genuine laugh out of me with, if I ever get my hooves on that pony stick fucking on the ground, I'll whatever do it. Just okay. She's having some fun with this one, and even though it is kind of obvious what they're doing, the gags, they do sort of hammer them home. They're just so fun-loving. It's like, in spite of the fact that they're kind of childish, it's just fun. That's pretty much covered it. It doesn't quite cover everyone, because there's also Twilight, who is still doing well as, I guess, the moral center of the group, and we've seen, I guess, other stuff from her too. Like, that's not the only role she's going to play. Also, it's kind of fun to see her get dressed up too in the rainbow-colored wig and all the mascot items you buy to cheer for your team. So it's kind of fun to see that from her too, because, like I said, just seeing everyone go to a game essentially and cheer for the home team. It's something new, something kind of fun to see, and, okay, so that was good too, but, what she says is, I think, some pretty good moral points, and that brings me to Rainbow Dash, because, like I also said, even though, this is kind of played up, it's kind of, everything taken just a little farther up the line of silliness, it's still, like, in even proportions, so it's still, Rainbow Dash, how she would act in that scenario, even though you get it, but no, it is still kind of how you'd think Rainbow Dash would operate, what you'd think would go through her mind and when confronted with these problems, and the dilemma is kind of identifiable, like the really wanting two things so badly, and it almost feels harder to say no to one of them than to not say yes to one of them, so she actually prefers to play injured than, let one side down than to, tell her dream team that she doesn't want to be a part of them, but also to let her friends down. I've kind of been there a couple of times. I think a lot of people have. You know how tough a decision it is when, she's playing injured, she's sitting out both to get out of making the decision, and I think that's kind of identifiable. And then the way they make her realize what the right thing is, just how they all rally around it, like only one team is rallying around her and telling her that, we're still gonna do this for you, we still consider you part of our team, we're gonna win these gold medals for you if we can, all that, and that was, I think, kind of poignant, and Twilight saying, choosing not to choose, it's not really a decision, and nothing more or less than that. She doesn't even say it's wrong necessarily, but that Rainbow is running away from it, and then, so you're really behind her by the time she decides to go out and tell the Wonderbolts that, there, my friends, you lied to me to get me to do this. You said that your teammate was injured when he wasn't, and then Spitfire, after being called out in front of everyone and, yeah, revealed she takes off her glasses, she's just like, well, you know something, Rainbow Dash, you really are something special. I think we could learn something from you. I saw it at the Academy, I'm seeing it again now. Why do they keep trying to give this character, who is so obviously amoral, a moral side? It's like, I mean, everything she does, there's nothing even indicating that it's anything other than total selfishness, and then they always try to bring her back at the end, completely out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know why they keep insisting on this character having a good side when she's so obviously just, well, I mean, put it this way, it would have made so much more sense to just make her what she seems like both times, and instead they keep trying to rein her back in and make us like her. It's like, well, whatever floats your boat, but, anyway, so, yeah, I think, yeah, once again, we're getting there. I think that this episode was a lot of fun. It was kind of stupid. It kind of made its characters look bad, but I think that was far outweighed by how much fun we have with them, and I think it did sort of get its moral across. I thought there is something to take away from this one, I should say. Like, even a little bit more than the last one, which wasn't for nothing either, but I mean, this did sort of really show you that it was a genuinely tough dilemma for Rainbow Dash, and, yeah, they pulled it off. They didn't cheat to get us there. They made her confront it and overcome it, so, okay, I like this episode. I think it's pretty good. Still not a great one, but, still, I would say even better than the last one. It's pretty good. So, okay. We're getting there again, and the next one is Three's a Crowd. So, take care. See you then.